testicular torsion is when, so you got your two balls here, right?
Yeah.
And there's some cordage that connects up to your body. All right. So it's when your blood supply pretty much wraps up around your testicles and it kind of causes like a blockage and the swelling. Like they're not getting enough blood.
So your nut cord
got twisted up.
Ew.
Yeah. That I never met in person before. Started liking all my shit. And I'm like, who is this? She started like commenting.
Oh, she stalked you.
She stalked me. Now this guy left a bag of Coke in her mom's couch and she was like mad at him during that. And like she was with this guy for like 9 months. He was a scumbag.
Goddamn.
And then
we're live.
Yeah.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. We're tuning in right now to the Sagittarius Hour on WK Pussy. I don't know. What's up, everybody? It's me, Joe Winchell. This is Millennial Stoner. I'm very excited this week. Just going to get it out of the way. My guest is Mr. I was going to say Donny Brooks. I really don't know your... Donny Roy?
Yeah.
Donny Roy. I was like, Donny Brooks. It's a cool name, but it's not your name.
Sounds like a country singer.
It's the weed, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Oh, very happy to be here.
Yeah. Don't be presentational. They don't like that.
Very happy.
We're going to do this again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to... No, thanks for coming down, man. You're like a first-timer, too, so you're like a genuine open micer.
Yeah, I'm still
Which
new
some
with
people
this.
see as an insult, but that's what you are, so deal with it.
It's the stages.
It's the stages.
Oh, yeah.
But Donnie's coming on a very special episode today because usually I interview people and I come up with the questions myself, but I'm convinced that robots are taking over the world very soon. So I'm going to give into it instead of fight it. And we asked Chad, what is Chad the AI? Chad GPT, what the fuck's his name, Chris?
Yeah,
Chad GPT. Donnie gave him 5 facts. We have Chad GPT 5 facts about Donnie, and based on those 5 facts, Chad made questions for Donnie. So we're gonna do that instead of me my usual bullshit.
Let's
interview.
dive
See
in,
how
baby.
that goes? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, fuck. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do these in order. What inspired you to pursue a career in stand-up comedy? Question 1 from Chad.
I always was a fan of comedy. Me and my brothers grew up watching like Comedy Central Presents and shit like that.
Yeah, it was my bread and butter when I was growing
that's
up.
the best.
I remember specifically they used to be, it's like on Saturday they would do like 3 of them.
Yeah.
It would be like 3 in a row. And like they were always the hour specials. And they were always hilarious.
Yeah.
And I watched those all the fucking time. Premium Blend too. Did you watch Premium Blend?
I never did.
Premium Blend was like 5 minutes of like random comedians. That's how I found out about a lot of guys that I really like now.
Yeah.
Like they're like bigger now and everything.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was the whole story.
And,
No, go ahead. Don't ever let me derail you. Just keep on with your thought.
I'm a polite guest.
Don't be polite.
No, yeah, I grew up watching stand-up. I always like being funny. My brother was funny. All my brothers are hysterical, but it's the fucked up life that we were given early on.
What would happen? Would you guys grow up in like an internment camp or something?
Pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah, my mom was crazy. Fucking, we moved around a lot. My dad wasn't around. Neither was their dad. I have 2 siblings.
That's perfect. That's a perfect segue to my next question.
Joe, check your mic. Make sure it's on. No, the Samson.
Was it okay now? Oh, I can actually tell that it's on now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, sorry that I ruined that. This is going great. So what you're saying, you had a fucked up upbringing?
Yeah. I have 2 siblings. My 2 oldest siblings, they had a different dad. He left. Me.
Oh, so you had one of those franchises.
Yeah, then me and my other 2 siblings have the same dad. He left. And then my mom just moved us around like a white trash, like gypsy tribe.
Oh, so you guys you did move around a lot.
Oh, we moved around a lot.
Yeah,
13 times.
Okay,
in
so
my count.
13 times?
Yeah.
How many states have you lived in?
Just 2 actually.
So just like counties and stuff?
Yeah,
like what's the 2?
I've
Like
lived-
this in Pennsylvania, I'm guessing? Sorry.
No, we lived all over fucking Long Island. Like I lived in Sayville, West Babylon, North Babylon, Deer Park, West Islip, Massapequa. We did 9 months in Florida.
So long as you
And
ever
then
stayed
moved
in
back.
high school for.
What's that?
So did you have a lot of friends moving around, or was it just you and your brothers?
So I would make friends and then leave to the next school district.
So
Make more friends and then go to the next school district.
So you would, hi, I'm Donnie, and then bye, Donnie, and then
Yep.
after that, you just be like, well, time to blaze a new trail in life.
That's right. Maybe really
Christ.
good at making friends.
All right. Well, Chad's off to a great start here.
Yeah, dude, he's diving in.
Diving in, I asked one question, I piggybacked off of it. This is great, though. This is a great segue into my next question. How did your upbringing influence your comedic style?
It's dark.
Yeah, it tend to. You tend to try to do more darker stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I
or
try to
like-
give people like a scope into like.
Do you
Just-
do that with the intention of being dark, or is it more like it just kind of comes out that? Because, and I mean that like. Sometimes I think people try to write dark, and then it comes off like you're writing dark instead of like real dark humor comes out sort of like in an organic way.
Anything you've heard me do with the mics is 100% true.
Oh, I know that. I'm like, do you purposely try to write dark, or are you like it just comes out that way?
It just comes out that way.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way to really sugarcoat like the shit I had to like go through as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Just it comes out just painted black.
Okay.
And so when I hear people get uncomfortable, I'm like, "What are you guys so upset about it? I was the one there."
I don't think anybody. Were you worried that was going to happen when you were like, "What is that? Are we going to explode?"
Sprinklers.
No, it's a sprinkler.
It's gonna get you.
Great. I was like, I thought with the lights was going to fucking short circuit. Fuck, I had a good question too. Goddamn. All right, we'll go back to Chad. How do you? Yeah, here we go. How did what was it like growing up with 3 brothers and 1 sister?
Bad for the sister.
What'd you do?
Oh no, we
Did you,
were
like,
just
bury her?
pretty much. I don't know. We buried her with insults, definitely. I mean, we would we were just like mean.
Yeah.
We were just a mean. Like my brothers were born in the 80s, and I was born in the 90s, and so was my sister.
What's the gap on your brothers?
My oldest brother's 40. My
Okay.
next brother's 39.
And you're
and one of
28,
that-
you said?
I'm 28.
So that's like what, a 12-year gap?
Yeah, about a 12-year gap.
Shit, okay. That's like a hell of a gap. So how old's your sister?
She's 32, I think.
So she's what? That would make her 2 years older than you? Math is
Yeah,
not
like
my
3.5
strong suit.
years.
Oh, okay. All right. So you beat the shit out of her, and you were a terrible brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Did
Well,
she-
she was built like Michael Orr when she was growing up. She was fucking big. I mean, she had a thyroid issue. She sees this is okay. She's a good sport.
she's
built
very like
You look at her like 5th grade, like elementary school, like moving up ceremony, and like there's just all these little kids.
What's her
and
name?
Her name is.
Don't
No,
say
we're not
it.
gonna do this.
that was a trick. I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
Brenda
fucking-
Roy.
Yeah, she was ahead of the curve.
Christ.
Yeah.
Did she eventually beat the shit out of you?
Yeah, she had fucking the strongest legs in the world. So like whenever we get in a fight, like she'd lay on her back and just propel me across a room. True
Like a
story,
medicine
yeah.
ball?
Yeah, like fucking like she was a goddamn.
You're a
stallion.
skinny dude. Like I just
Oh, yeah.
realized. I'm like, okay. So I'm trying to imagine like someone who kind of looks like you, but with like hair.
Yeah.
And then
That's fucked up.
yeah, who's got like the thighs of what I can only assume would be of some sort of shot putter from the Olympics of 1935.
Dude, she looked like Miss Trunchbull.
Jesus Christ. I have the most specific image.
Yeah.
In fact, people used to work out in layers and layers of fucking sweatpants. So, all right. So that's fun. You beat the shit out of your sister, but she beat the shit out of you eventually. So
Oh, yeah.
karma. So, we
I
can
was at
laugh.
the end of the rope.
We can laugh at this because it's,
Even my brothers.
you got
too.
your comeuppance.
Oh yeah. Well, my brothers gave it to me first. I mean, my brother Kenny, he's I think he's 34 now.
God,
34,
man, Kenny
35.
sounds like a psycho.
Oh yeah. He used to pick me up laying on the ground from my collarbone.
Eh.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean from your collarbone? Like a cat?
Oh yeah. What do you
Like just
cats
grab
have
you by the
collarbones?
scruff of the skin of the back
Yeah.
of your neck,
No,
like Donny.
he would dig in right here and pick me up like off the ground with that.
This is exactly how Mark Wahlberg was raised. Did you know
Yeah.
that?
I did not know- is that why he was mean
Yeah,
to that Asian guy?
that's why he blinded an Asian guy with his fist.
Yeah.
because his brother Donnie would pick on him all the time.
Yeah. Well, the
Ah,
tables
look at-
turned for this Donnie.
Look at Mark. I can pick him up by the scruff of his collarbone.
Yeah, he made me.
What's he gonna do?
claustrophobic.
Blind me with his fist one day? I don't think so. I'm gonna band.
Yeah.
So anyway, so your brothers are psychos. Used to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. Well, mostly my one brother Kenny. The other two did it
Was-
to him.
Yeah, I love how you're like, I'm not gonna say my sister's name, but I'm gonna tell you my brother Kenny's name right now.
He would love this. That's why.
Okay, all right. So Kenny beat the shit out of you the most. Your other brother was nicer to you.
Yeah, my two oldest brothers were nicer to me. Just
How many?
'cause, like,
Wait, how many brothers do you fucking have? 2?
I got three.
You have 3.
Three brothers. Yeah.
Okay, so your 2 oldest brothers were nicer to you,
Yeah.
but Kenny was like the middle.
Yeah. He was
He's
like
the middle child,
yeah,
right?
He's 5 years away from me, so he had like.
So he was like, I have to kill you. I have to beat the shit out of you based on
Oh
principle.
yeah. Yeah. He'd do
This-
the what was that one wrestling move? The Walls of Jericho. I think that's why I have spine issues
You
now.
just gave me a very specific time and era. I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they used to put the figure 4 leg lock, because I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
And it was the sharpshooter. It was the Bret Hart thing. It was a sharpshooter when I was a kid, and the Walls of Jericho came later.
Yeah, when you fucking grab the legs and lean back.
And if you lean back, someone won a UFC fight using that.
No shit.
Yeah. Chris, we're taking a break from Chad. Just bring us up. Put UFC, like, UFC fighter uses Walls of Jericho.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It
shit
looks like the
that.
most painful thing in the world, but it's the real.
It hurts.
Yeah, he wins it right there.
Oh, you got it. Yep, and there's me in 2002.
Yeah. Donny, stop squirming, Donny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna break his back.
I know exactly where it hurts.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
So messed up.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wrestling's real. Like,
Yeah. You see, it does work.
Yeah, no, but yeah, so that's the whole thing about those moves where all you had to do is lean into them.
Yeah.
Like the sharpshooter hurts too. But if you lean into it, like you can fucking break somebody's like sciatica. Whatever the fuck. Like
my L5S1 is I think is responsible for that.
You think it's all screwed up? I think I have scoliosis because of my cousins doing that to me.
Yeah.
I literally think I do. All right, we're doing great.
Yeah.
Chad's doing a great job right now. All hail the new robot upbringing. All hail. Let's see here. How does your family's frequent moves affect you growing up?
I can meet new people very easily.
These are good questions.
This is fucking. I feel like I'm in therapy right now.
It's all right. You can meet people easily?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Did you I feel like did you develop like a con man skill where you can kind of just charm your way into any situation because you never were staying around long?
Not like that. It was more of like, I don't know. I just learned how to be friendly quick. Like
because you knew you weren't gonna be sticking around for a while.
Well, I was hoping I wouldn't. I never knew.
That was I guess I'm staying around here. Better make friends.
Yeah, when you're in third grade, you're not like, oh, I can't wait to move in a year. But
do you have a lot of friends still that you keep in contact with?
Oh no,
it was like
and that makes it way more complicated to stay in like touch with friends I still have.
You do not seem like the model of somebody who would be in any kind of marriage right now. For the record,
I know.
Like, I moved around a lot.
And my dad left. I'm like,
oh, that's next. On the question
my whole fucking life is just leaving.
Yeah, that's my point. Well, usually people like that tend to either like the extreme of being like they tend to be very clingy, or they tend to push people away.
Yeah,
from what I understand, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just like something I read once in an article, basically.
No, it's true. Yeah, but like with my, I'm married, so like me and my wife, like I'm very close with her.
Yeah,
but like I'll have I'll fall off with friends.
Everyone's like, you're not gonna leave like a fucking dad, are you?
Well, like I have friends from like high school and shit like that, middle school, and they're like, how come you don't reach out so much? I'm like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like a weird pattern I still haven't learned how to break yet.
Oh, so they reach out to you.
Yeah, and they're like, what's going on? I haven't heard from you. I'm like, I'm just doing my thing.
I don't know you anymore, man. I'm sorry. That happens though.
Yeah,
especially after you like when you run into high school people later on in life, like when you're like 30.
Yeah.
Like, because they're at that point, you've made other friends. Life has changed. Like it's either extremely jarring. I've learned. I graduated with a small class, so it's either going to be extremely jarring, or it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, like I graduated from Mass Peak, where there were like 700 people I graduated with.
I think I graduated with like 65, 60.
That's crazy.
It's a small town.
Yeah,
but so. Fuck, what did I go off here? Oh yeah. All right, good. Well, so we'll move on to the next question there. Well, I mean, that's really it. You just got to meet people.
Yeah, I just met a lot of people.
And did you make friends quick?
Yeah.
So you were genuine that's probably why.
Yeah, I think that's where I learned how to be genuine.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah. Like, I was always
nobody wants to not have friends.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to like just sell myself as a good guy.
You had to leave the town because you had to leave friends behind?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
time.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I'm not going to be able to play with Andy anymore. You'll meet a new Andy. There'll never be another Andy.
Yeah, I just kept making new friends. I'd fuck around with.
Oh, shit. You got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, too. All right. You're the new Andy. My name's Bobby. Whatever. Andy.
Just messing up people's names for life.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I told Chad GPT not to fuck around with these questions. So how did your dad leaving when you were young impact you?
Holy fuck.
And don't say with a gunshot. How did it impact you?
Well, I definitely didn't like it.
Yeah.
Would have been cool to have one of those.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know those things that most people have?
Yeah. What's that
Yeah.
like?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not
What'd you-
cool.
What'd you do for Father's Day? Nothing.
No, my mom wanted to celebrate 2 days. She goes, "This is my day.
That's what she
He's
did?
not around. I get 2 days now."
So he left.
Yeah.
Like going for a pack of cigarettes, didn't come back.
Well, my parents were already divorced.
Oh,
and,
they were
like,
divorced.
Yeah, so we
And he
go.
just cut ties.
Yeah, like he
Didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Was he one of those dudes that never really wanted to have a family?
Well, the
I
funny
feel like
thing
that
is,
happens a lot.
we
from that
were
era.
his second family.
Oh, okay. He was a franchise guy.
Yeah, he has
liked the
another
other-
family in Indiana.
Why does that make so
Dude,
much?
my dad was slinging that Irish dick all over this country.
Dude, where does this comes up? I bring this up a lot because every once in a while you'll run it, and you're not the first person that's that I know that's had this happen to them in their life on some level. It's crazy. Where do you get the time to start 2 families? And how frequently does this actually happen? Because there's a bunch. No, there's a bunch of stories where it's always like that. You ever seen the movie Fight Club? You've seen the movie Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
They talk about it. The main character's father is like one of those guys that says he had like families in every town.
Yeah.
And like I just don't know where that comes from. It's a crazy mentality. Imagine having a whole family. Like already, because you have to have a family to start with. And then like just deciding to go like to another state, meet another person, and then start a whole nother family. While the other family and then go back and at least try to make it work. Like oh God, the stress that would give me.
That's like hitting the reset button on the Nintendo
guess,
64.
right?
Like, yeah, we'll just start a new life.
Is that what it is,
I
though?
think
It's
so.
like,
It
let's
has to
see
be.
how this save file goes?
Yeah.
Like,
Because after my dad completed this game, he didn't,
he didn't
have
complete the game?
Well,
He was like, listen, I didn't get that gun from the castle. That's what it's like. These little Nimrods aren't working out.
Yeah,
So I'm going to go and like, it's like all girls, but it's like the male equivalent to you guys and one boy for the sisters.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite.
No, now he's just living his best life in Florida.
So you don't talk to him at all? You've never tried to reach out to him?
I reached out to him, like my sister.
And you don't have to answer this, but I'm going to ask.
No, it's fine. Like I said, I'm an open book. I like talking about this.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah,
How much gay shit did you do in the army? No, I'm kidding.
tons. We'll get to
All
that.
right, cool. Well, it's on there. It's on there.
Oh yeah, so like fucking my sister got in contact with him around like 2016.
Were you like, he's dead to me for a while? Like,
Yeah, I was mad, of course.
of course you would.
Any young boy would be mad that his dad wasn't around by
I'm
his
sure
own choice.
18-year-old Donnie was a very interesting dude.
Oh yeah, you don't
Yeah.
know the half of it.
Judging by the past blue ribbon you bought over, I got a window into it.
Hey, listen, that's a good beer. I don't care what you say.
It's won a blue ribbon.
Yeah, it's gotten awards. But fucking yeah, so my sister got in contact with him in like 2016. And then she's like, "Do you want to meet him?" I was like, "I would like to hear his side of the story."
What was the but what were you thinking? Were you like immediately? Were you immediately no? But like, or were you like right away? Like, yeah, you know what? Let me at least get the other side. Were you like, or were you resistant right away?
No, I was open to it. I was more surprised. I was like, "Oh no shit!" I was like, "Because since I was 10, no one knew where he was."
That's fucking cool.
Yeah,
That's just cool that you had that mentality. I mean, like,
yeah. So I was like, "I'll give him a chance. I'll listen to him."
most people. I mean, it's nice to at least have the whole story.
Yeah,
You know, you don't have to be friends with him afterwards. You don't even have to say you like him afterwards, but
Yeah.
at least you can say you know everything.
and if he was willing to do that, I'm like, "All right, that's cool. At least he was willing to meet with me." And
What
like,
was his side of the story? If you
yeah,
don't
so
mind
he
me
just
asking.
he dove into like how hard it was for him at the time. I mean, he's a gambling addict.
Yeah, you had a gambling problem.
Yeah, we
Okay.
lost a house because of his gambling in Deer Park.
I've had friends that their father like found out years later they had like fake credit cards and everything like that. So yeah.
Well, that came from my mom later in life, but
Well,
yeah, I'm just a product of two messed up people. So that's pretty much my entire background. So
Oh no, I got more. Don't worry about it.
yeah, but
But
yeah.
like when you met him, like was it like? I mean, were you like, all right, what the fuck? Like, what the hell, man? Like,
yeah, so I was just
and he was
patient.
just stressed.
Well, no, like my mom was very, very didn't want him to see us as much. She was like one of those women that like
Okay.
kind of kept her kids from her,
But after
the father.
after the divorce.
Yeah. And
Okay.
she would call the cops on him all the time, left and right. and
Okay.
yeah, it was just one of those. It was just a really messy
So it was just a hard
divorce.
situation.
It was two people that hated each other,
Yeah.
and like she used us as leverage for a lot of it.
You get along with your mom?
No, I don't talk to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We're diving in, baby.
Wow.
This is the Joe Winchell therapy.
So for years she was like that asshole. And then you're like, yeah, I'll talk to him. And then he was like, no, that bitch. And then like,
well, it was cool because he's like, there's no.
Do you have a relationship with him now?
No, I don't have a relationship with either.
Was
of
that
them.
by choice or just
Mostly by choice? Because like I would reach out like on holidays and stuff like that. He would never respond.
Oh, okay. Which probably,
he has a whole life without us. Like you can't expect the guy to change overnight if he even wasn't willing to change back then.
Was that hard to deal with, like in your life and everything? Did you like did you deal with it in therapy? Are you going to stab me right now? Like no,
yeah, I'm even keeled about the whole thing.
I noticed you are.
Yeah, I don't wish I could change anything that's not out of my control.
Makes you one of the more interesting people I've ever had sit on this couch across from me. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, thank you.
It does. I mean, like that's like a wild thing to live through.
Yeah.
It's also like, when did you realize that he had a separate family? How old were you?
Oh, I was still like young.
That's what I mean. Like, that's wild.
Yeah, we just knew that he had like other kids in another state.
I feel like certain people react. I don't know. Like it's because like you hear stories like. Do you ever hear the story about when Jack Nicholson was growing up?
No.
It's something about how when Jack Nicholson was young, he was raised by somebody that was his sister. That was told to him that it was his sister, but it was actually his mother. And it was like a whole weird thing, and it like screwed him, like, and it should have screwed him up and everything. But he became one of the greatest actors of all time. You know who else that happened to?
Who's that?
Ted Bundy.
Go either way.
Same thing. No, it's the same scenario. I swear to God, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like I feel like a different person in a different scenario would have reacted differently to you're very even keeled.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you didn't you went and talked to you got the truth. Isn't that what people want?
Yeah.
Even if it sucks, at least you know the whole story, right?
Yeah. And I mean, like I grew up quick. That's what it was. Like even when I was a kid, like people, you'd be like, I feel like I'm talking to a young adult. Like, I had to learn a lot. Like
were your brothers good about that shit too?
And they would get me out of the house as much as possible.
So they weren't just psychopaths to you
the
whole time.
No.
Yeah.
All of my family members are productive members of society, which is insane.
It's just not your parents.
Yeah. Just not my parents.
Just not.
Yeah,
Stains on
it
society.
stopped with them. We're all pretty productive.
Stains in society. They should be cleansed. Anyway.
But yeah, anyway, so like when I met up with my dad, I kind of just gave him the time and energy to explain, and just, I don't know, I don't want to hate him. No one wants to hate anybody.
You didn't want to carry that around with you.
No.
I can admire that.
Yeah,
good for you, dude. So many people love to carry grudges nowadays.
I'm done with it. I don't want to.
Everybody's always like, I keep that shit with me, and I'm like,
no.
Why? Like,
you can use it as motivation for shit. Like, I won't end up like that.
That's different.
I won't do that. That's pretty much how I lived. Like, since I was a kid, I had that mentality. I looked at both of my parents. I'm like, don't do what they did.
Yeah, I've kind of avoided I've not that my parents loved me, not like yours, but like I had different problems in life.
Yeah.
But like it I think it all depends on like certain people in a different scenario would react differently to it, and you're smart enough to be like, okay, I'm not going to let this affect me. And I'm going to learn from this.
Yeah.
Most people would have just, and it's all. Everybody's going to react differently to shit and everything. So I think you were just able to process it better than most people would. Is what it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, probably in the last 3 years is when I really started getting a hold of it. Like, okay.
Did you go to therapy for it?
No.
Really?
I mean, I went to a school.
That seems like something I would be like in the waiting room the night before they open. Like, just like,
yeah. What I found was like,
because I'll tell you, if I was in your position, I'd deal with all this poorly.
Yeah, I did in the beginning. I mean, like, especially in my early 20s, like I was very like
destructive.
I guess so. A little bit
really
self-destructive.
To do it.
Yeah, I like drinking a lot more than I am now and stuff like that. But
what?
I like to party.
I understand. Hi, my name is Joe, and I like to party. My name is Donny, and I also like to party.
But yeah, I realized like down the road that I had a lot more to be, grateful for than ungrateful for. You know what I'm saying?
This is the best hard conversation I've ever had.
Oh, I'm glad.
No, but like it's good because like I think we live in such a world where, it's like you see like the kind of thing that like the shit that affects people.
Yeah.
And what it does to certain people, it's always, but it's not that, obviously, if you can process it better, it's good to see that, everybody's wired a little bit differently and everything and shit like that. So
yeah,
this is a hilarious podcast, by the way. Can you tell us more about your experiences with testicular torsion in the 5th grade?
I'm going to repeat that. Can you tell us more about your experience with testicular torsion in the 5th grade? What the fuck is you gave this fact to Chad, and he has.
Yeah,
First of all, what the fuck is testicular torsion?
the testicular torsion is when
It sounds exactly like what it is, but I need you to describe it for the listeners.
so you got your two balls here, right?
Yeah.
All right, and there's some cordage that connects up to your body. All right, and then
Well, you have an accent now. Aren't you from the fucking state?
Yeah. I'm a Southern doctor now.
Ew.
Anyway, so it's when your blood supply pretty much wraps up around your testicles, and it kind of causes like a blockage and the swelling. Like they're not getting enough blood.
So your nut cord
got twisted up.
Ew.
And like the only way to go through it, like I remember very vividly.
No, just keep describing it to me. We'll get to how it happens.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just pretty much like the blood supply tangles around the nut, and it keeps the blood from getting to that. And like in some cases, people
Did
can
it
lose
swell
nuts.
up like a golf ball?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. And
Did your nut change color?
Yeah, dude. I had
Ew.
purple fifth grade nuts, man.
How did this happen?
I don't know.
Wait,
it just happens.
so one day you were just like, my nuts hurt.
Yeah, I was like,
How
they
old
hurt
were
a
you?
lot.
In the 5th grade?
Fucking what is that? Like you're
7?
10? No, you're 10? 11?
Nah,
11
it's
years
not
old.
our strong suit.
11 years old. Yeah, but I remember it very vividly. And I had to have a specialist come in.
But they untangled your nuts?
Yes.
So wait, they had to. So you're walking around playing volleyball, all of a sudden in the 5th grade.
Yeah.
And you're just like, were you like, does it hurt? Or you're like, teacher, my nut is purple.
I don't remember how it came up. I think I just
Did
told
you
my
faint,
parents.
or did you just faint from fucking blood, from a blood clot?
Yeah,
Like,
I just told my mom. I was like, my stuff hurts. And then she brought me to the doctor. And then
was that hard for you? It's like, I don't want anybody to see my stuff.
yeah,
I don't want my mom to see my dick.
Well, no. Well, at that age, you're still like open to like telling her there's things wrong. So like,
Something's wrong.
right when you get to puberty, that's when it starts getting weird. But
That's true. Okay. All
yeah,
right.
like so. But then I had to go to a specialist, and he had to feel. I had this weird Indian man death grip my ball sack.
But he spread
And
out
it
like
was
he had
so
to- he had
painful.
he had to spread out like a bat wing.
Yeah. No, he literally just felt my balls.
Oh
That's how
my
he had to
God.
figure out where it was, and then I had to like get knocked out for a procedure to get it untangled. You know,
Where they
it's
go-
kind of like when like a charter boat help comes over and like
How did your
untangles your
nuts
rat's
get
nest.
How did your nuts get tangled? Because obviously at one point they weren't tangled. Did you jerk off a lot as a young kid, like furiously, and it just like you hit it so hard that it whapped the balls over each other?
I wasn't jerking off at the time it happened. It just happened.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like hit or miss.
You were like a sports kid. Maybe your brothers did it to you. Maybe they did it to you as a prank.
Oh, I got kicked
Maybe
in the
they
nuts
forgot.
a lot growing
So
up.
that's probably what happened.
Yeah, it's possible.
Your
In
brothers
school,
kicked you in the nuts so much it tied them.
friends
Next time
and
you
brothers.
see Kenny, be like, you know what happened to me? You know what I figured out?
Oh, I got my payback. Don't worry.
What'd you do to Kenny to get payback? Did you
I kicked
Did
him.
you sodomize him with like a steel rebar?
To this day, he still remembers I kicked him the hardest I've ever kicked anyone in the nuts, and him too. Like he's never felt that kind of pain.
Raise him off the ground.
He was sitting on the couch, like kind of sloped,
Did you go foot?
and I literally, I
You
went
stomped?
up. No, I went up, and it pretty much just
I thought you like swan kicked into him.
I uppercut. I uppercut.
So
his
you
nutsack
got all
with
the
my
momentum
foot.
on your side. So you get when
Yeah.
you towed him in the nuts.
Oh yeah,
I was like, usually the hardest, the shin. You just get a square. You just squish him.
yeah. No, I speed bagged his ball sack with my foot.
God damn, this is
Yeah.
very
and then
intelligent.
I sprinted as far as I could upstairs and fast
This is
before he
cool.
could get to me.
This is cool. Your dad left. You kicked people in the nuts. Good. This is great.
Yeah, dude. I'm a fucking Suffolk County rat.
You are exactly why people don't come to Long Island.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right. So you don't know how you got your nuts twisted. Was that
No,
the
it
only
just
time you ever
happened.
got your nuts twisted?
That was the only time.
Dude, that's fucked up.
I know. I
That
tell
sounds
my-
extreme. How painful was it?
It was so painful.
Was it
You know when you first get kicked in the nuts, like that pain that lingers in your
when you
stomach.
first are like, that really hurts?
Imagine that doesn't go away. It's just there.
I
Like
don't-
it's consistent.
We're gonna stop talking about this, Chad.
Balls.
Moving on. You were in the Army, right?
I was in the Army.
And you had brothers who were in the Marines.
Yeah, I have
But you
two-
were in the Army.
Yeah.
What
Marines, Army, Coast Guard, Army.
what were you? Were you airborne?
No, I wasn't airborne.
Were you a Ranger?
No, I wasn't that tough. was-
Beret?
Come on.
Sorry, my dad did all those things.
Yeah, your dad's way cooler than I am. Your dad's got way untwisted balls than I do.
I don't think that's been back when but that was back when a lot of stuff was new in the military. Like,
Yeah.
I asked my dad one time because like it's one of those things that like I decided early on I'm not going to broach the subject a whole lot because it was Vietnam.
Yeah.
So it's like, and he tells me like what he wants to tell me, which is fine. I hate those people that are like, so did you kill anybody out there? I'm like,
Yeah.
obviously they probably did. Like,
I had a girl ask me that when I was
That's fucked up, right?
before I had sex with her. She goes,
that's awesome. Actually, I take it back. That's hot.
I just got out of basic training, and she's like touching my chest. She's like, "Did you ever kill anybody?" I was like,
yup.
"Not yet."
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm going to pay to kill somebody in a week if you call me after
Yeah.
this.
Like your pussy's in danger. I'll tell you
I'm
that.
going to stab you in the pussy. She's like, do it. I'm like, yeah, but seriously, I haven't killed anybody yet. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because that's awesome. Like if I told somebody I've been arrested once. If somebody's like, you've been arrested once, and like the girl right before I went inside them was like, did you kill somebody in there? I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I'd lie and then never see them again. Hopefully they never saw me again.
See, I don't like keeping the lie with me. So I was like, nah, I didn't do
I
that.
didn't do that.
I'm a pussy.
Ah. You're
But
not
yeah.
a full comedian yet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so me and all my brothers would join the army.
So wait, but I thought you
Well,
said
I'm
your brother's
sorry, all to
Marines.
join the military. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, oldest Marine. Next
So you
oldest
just
Army.
were regular Army dude?
Yeah, well, I mean
Army Donnie?
I was MP. Yeah.
You were military
I was
police.
military police, baby. I was a
Everybody
cop
hated,
in the
didn't
army.
everybody hate you?
That is the most hated
Was
job.
that the job? Did you like? I want to be that job.
You know, my brother who was infantry in Iraq goes, "Why don't you do a job where you can get out and not be homeless?" Like he did that, getting out of the military. He had no job. He worked at a bagel shop and lived in his car for a little bit.
Oh,
He goes,
Jesus.
"So get something with
That's sad-
a little
that's what
more
happens
job
sometimes.
experience." I'm
Yeah,
like, okay.
yeah. Well, that'll give you. Were you going to become a cop when you came back?
I thought about it.
I'm
And-
glad you didn't do that.
Me too. That dude, that is a hard
It
job.
just seems like a job that nobody really likes.
I don't want- I didn't like it. I didn't like
Did
it
you
at
go
all.
to the? Did you go to like any of the seminar stuff or anything?
The
'Cause you
what?
can do like pre-cop stuff. I know,
to do the what?
like seminar, like you can do like peacekeeper pre-cop stuff, right?
Yeah, you could do like auxiliary and shit like that. But
yeah,
I
my
just
friend was he was technically a cop. It's like down in Georgia where they've got that they have that huge airport.
Yeah.
It technically needs its own police force, but they don't go to like regular police school. They go to like peacekeeper seminar.
Okay.
So he's a what's it? Peace officer. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Peacekeeper. I have to stop saying that.
Yeah. I even like went out for
What
Suffolk.
made you not do it?
So first, I got turned down by Suffolk because my eyesight was too bad, uncorrected. You needed to have a certain like prescription.
I got rejected, not rejected, but I was told because I was going to join the military myself at one point.
Yeah.
And I was told that because of I have like this, I can't see this eye's bad.
Yeah.
It's been bad for years. If I close like this, it's blurry. They were told because I wanted to be in special forces, they were like, you can't. It's not.
Yeah.
They're not. You can do army, like you can do regular army, but they're not going to take you
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
you're not going to. They were like, they flat out told me like you're not going to pass the eye exam.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
And I was like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah. I had bad eyes and I'm colorblind, so
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, hey, it's rough. But yeah, I got turned down by that, and it was fucked up because it was the year that Suffolk County Police hired the legless Marine, and I was like, what the fuck? It's like I got bad eyes, this guy got no
you
legs.
can't hire the idiot army guy. Come
Yeah.
on. Oh my god.
Yeah, fucking army, army military policeman
You're
hired.
just
on
like,
Suffolk
I can
County.
work a desk job. What
Yeah.
the fuck? Oh man. So with your military background,
Yeah.
this is the Chad question. How has your military experience influenced your comedy? Do you talk about you do a little bit.
Yeah, I do talk. Yeah, because
Are you hesitant to do it?
no, I mean I didn't do anything
Worry
bad.
about all the villages you
No
burned to the
war-
ground?
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No war crimes, thank God. Yeah, I didn't have to
Yeah.
do any of that.
You were overseas. Were you deployed? I
Yeah,
didn't even ask.
yeah,
Okay.
but I did like it was a 4-month deployment at an airfield. I did customs.
I hung out with
I
the Air
cleared-
Force guys the whole time. They brought me Chinese food.
Yeah, pretty much though. Like my job was to clear vehicles of any kind of brass ammo or like anything that can explode in an airplane. I had to make sure there wasn't in the vehicle when it got shipped out. That was my
And how
job.
long were you in for?
I was in for 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
That's like
joined.
normal that's like a normal stint, right?
4 years is.
Yeah.
I got told it was a 5-year minimum when I sat down in the chair to sign my contract.
I've heard different variations of
Oh,
that from
yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, 5 years active. And I was like, whoa. I was kind of hoping for 4. They're like, no, 5's minimum for MP. And I called my recruiter. I was like, dude, what the fuck?
You lied to me. It's like,
He
I
goes,
did.
oh, that's weird. I didn't know that. I'm like,
I didn't know that.
Scumbag.
You knew. Where are you right now? I'm in the
Uh-huh.
office. Yeah, I know. You can't leave. Bye.
Yeah, it was bad. And I was like, whatever.
I've
fuck
heard
it.
that happen.
I was like, what's one more year?
Yeah.
And that last year goes
So you
way
get
slower.
out. So you get out.
Yeah, I got out in 2018.
And then but when you started doing comedy, like, would you bring that? What were you like? I'm going to bring that into my comedy or whatever. You worried that? Because I know, like you were saying before, sometimes it may get a little too dark. People may not get it.
Yeah, so I like talking about real issues that like veterans and stuff like that go through. Not me per se. Like my brother is a combat vet from Iraq. He was in Iraq in 2004, infantry.
Cool.
He saw a lot of crazy shit. His unit was the longest deployed unit in the Iraq
Well,
war.
like the easy company of Iraq, essentially.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he got injured in his I think his 14th or 15th month there. He got hit by a mortar. You know,
Shit.
he's a Purple Heart recipient. Yeah, he got messed up. He died on the operating table.
Damn.
Yeah, but he's back. He's here, baby.
My dad got 2 of those.
Yeah. Oh, your dad's so fucking cool, Joe.
No, because only it was bullets. It wasn't an IED.
Yeah.
It was just an AK-47, not nearly as, I guess, cool.
Yeah. Not one of those cool things that get
No,
hurt
but it was
by.
just weird. This is one of those things when I see those, and I'm like, it's just like Purple Heart, and I'm like, that can mean anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you could have fell on glass.
you could have fell on glass, or you could have been like, "What's this?" and exploded, and been like, "I'm
Yeah.
still alive." So it's like, yeah. But so when you integrate that in your comedy, do you try to do it like from a standpoint of like that mentality of like, oh, I'm slightly raising awareness of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like talking about like real issues.
It
that
comes from a
veterans-
good place.
Yeah, it really does. Because like,
And you're always worried. I know you've told me before. You're always worried that people may think you're just being a dick.
yeah.
You're not, though.
Some people get upset about it.
Ah, man, you can't worry about that shit.
Yeah,
I've
but-
told you that before. Just go up there and be Donnie.
Yeah.
Because that's what people are going to respond to.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot. In fact, I don't know if you've told this, but to quote the great Alex Jones, I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah.
But like, I have learned the more genuine you are in this, the better your comedy is.
Yeah.
You ever notice the guys that go up there and have acts and everything like that? It makes you feel, I don't like watching this.
Yeah,
Like
it
when
turns me
feels,
off.
yeah, you know what I mean?
I
But
want to
when
know that
someone's
it's coming
up there,
from you.
yeah, when you know it's genuine, when you see like a Billy Guy or something like that up there, and you're just like, oh fuck, I know that's that guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because
but
that's always been the comedy that I like.
and always take big swings, man. If something doesn't work, it won't work. You don't have to do it again. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But you have a lot. You have a pretty, I'm not like saying that you're like fucking like the second coming of George Carlin and everything like that, but you have a lot of different things you talk about. Most comics, I'll say this, most comics talk about like 3 things. You know what I mean? Like like Rob White. I was talking, Rob White, right?
Of course.
Comedian Rob White, love him. I was talking to him recently. He was like, I realize I talk about racism and food a lot. And I'm like,
It's
it's always racism. It's always racism or food or racist food. Like, but you have like a lot of, you try to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, I just try to convey like my life experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I
So
like
that's
talking about my fucked up
so that's-
family, like talking
No,
about the
but,
military.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think there's a comfortability to that. So that's
Yeah.
cool. Okay. This question's stupid. How did you get started in stand-up comedy?
I think you know the answer there,
I do.
Joe Winchell. You're my
You
comedy
came to my
dad.
show.
And I was like,
and
hey, what do I do? I was like,
You
how do
came
I
up
come
to
do
me
this?
and you were like, and this is funny because you came up to me and you were like, and this is not me being like, you came up to me. You weren't like, you were so good. You were like, hey man, how do I do this? And I have a lot of people that when you do this, people ask that question to you a lot.
Yeah.
And I've learned to just be honest with it. I'm not being a dick. In no way am I being a dick. I'm not putting myself above anybody. I'll absolutely tell people, I'm like, you go to this mic or this mic, write stuff, keep going to the mic.
Yeah.
Eventually people will be like, hey, you want to be on a show? And then you go from there. Like it just grows from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you told me go on the Long Island comedy scene
Yeah, I gave you the
Facebook page. I was like,
Facebook-
okay. And I showed
yeah,
up 3
I said-
days
because
later.
I was like, all the mics are on there. Like
Yeah.
every mic. And just go to the mics and just keep going to the mics.
Yeah.
And you showed up.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest thing. I remember seeing you and I'm like, Donnie, I'm like, you're the dude from the show. And you were like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, I want to. Yeah, I'm going to be there. And then I never see them again.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'm prepared for that. It was more shocking to see that you actually showed up.
Yeah.
And you've been consistently showing up for the last, because that was what, 6 months, almost
Yeah.
like half a year ago, I
It
would
was
say.
Halloween was the first one.
It was.
I got to
All
see
right,
Russ
so
Silverman
little-
be fucking Kurt Cobain. That was awesome.
Right.
That was funny.
Yeah.
That was my first, the first time I met Russ. He wasn't Russ. He was Kurt Cobain.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And then I
That's
met
right.
Russ.
Yeah. The great Russ Silverman,
He's the best.
friend of the show. The writer of the theme song, one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean, man. Like it was really cool to see you show up. It's always weird because like I'm not lying to anybody, and nobody is, and I'm not saying anything that's some secret. I've seen like Billy say the same thing to people. I've seen Terry McNeely say the same thing to people. Rich Walker, Chris Roach, all these guys. I've seen them all say the same thing to people.
Yeah.
And it's just that's what you do. And you were like, okay, I guess this is what you do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will say like, hey, you go to these mics, and they'll be like, all right, but I gotta like write like brilliant stuff. And I think I even told you, I'm like, you don't even have to be funny. Like,
yeah,
you just have to start doing it. It's just start doing it. If you want to do it, just go start doing it.
Yeah. You figure it out as you go.
Yeah. And what did you like? What was that like? Because I've generally like wanted to ask you, like, because you're with your wife. I use you guys as crowd work because you guys, anytime I see a couple sitting together.
And she's a good sport.
She is. She's very, very cool. And I wanted to ask, like, what was that? Were you like, beforehand, were you like, I've always wanted to try comedy? Did you decide you were going to try it that night?
So I told her, like, I was open with her. Like, I'd been thinking about it since like that April. And then I was writing jokes, just keeping them to myself. And I'd bounce them off her. And she's like, that's funny. She's like, that's dark. I'm like, okay. And so then finally I was like, yeah, I'm going to ask. Because we'd go to shows at McGuire's. We get like the free comedy show, like emails.
10:30 shows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to go up and ask like where these guys work out and stuff like that. And like, I remember one or two times before that, I fucking was like, yeah, I chickened out. I didn't ask. And then finally your show, it was the Terry McNeely show.
Yeah, it was the Terry McNeely
and
show.
I was like, I'm going to do it. She goes, you're going to ask? Like, she was rude to me. She goes, you better go ask.
Yeah.
And then I asked you, I was like, where do we go to work out material?
And you're like, I'm like, here. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you just get, it's not some fucking secret. Like people act like it's a secret club. Yeah. Like you have to do, it's really not. Like it's just, you just have to, it's
got to be willing.
The only test is be willing to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And love comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's it. Like that's the only thing, there's no secrets to it.
Yeah.
Because it's all about developing you as a comedian and being yourself up there and being genuine and all that shit. So
I think a lot of people are just afraid of that embarrassment of the beginning stages.
Here's a question I wanted to ask. This is not a Chad question. This is a genuine Joe question. When do you feel that because you served in the military that it eliminated a little bit of that fear that sometimes comes with being on stage?
Yeah.
Because I know one of the best actors I know in the world was a Marine.
Yeah.
Like he was, and I mean, like he decided that his thing was going to be acting. Like, and this was a dude that he was in Fallujah. Like, and he just decided that he was going to be an actor, and he was like, he just anything that required a hump of fear to get over, nothing. He just put himself out there. It was very good.
Yeah, I mean, because once you overcome challenges like that, it's different. And plus, I was in like pop punk and punk bands in high school. So that got over my stage fright. Like I learned how to.
So you've been on stage before. It helps.
Yeah,
I did theater
absolutely.
beforehand. I did acting beforehand. And I was also a professional asshole. So that helped.
Yeah. You're still doing that.
Yeah, I am. So I just meshed the two.
Yeah.
But that's really cool, man, because I do believe the biggest hump for a lot of people is just performing, getting in front. You know what I mean? But like Chris comes down to the mic sometimes and goes up in front of it. I tell people all the time, hey, try it. Why the fuck not, man? It's like, do you want, because most people just want to try it. You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people get upset. It's like, oh, these newbies and whatever. Just fucking, if you want to just go to an open mic and try it. That's why it's an open mic. It's not called closed mic and everything.
Yeah.
You want to get good at it, that's a different story. You know what I mean? But it's just, you just got to go down and do it and don't worry about being funny. If you really are serious about it, you'll go back down again and you'll figure that joke out.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of us go down there. You've seen me do the same joke 300 times just because I have one new thing I need to add to it, but I have to do the whole thing.
Yeah. That's like the only way you can really get good at it.
Yeah.
It's like
exactly.
really get the cobwebs off and find every angle, like the same jokes you've been working on.
Exactly. So yeah, your story is literally just, it's the rest of that. If somebody actually followed through when they ask, hey, where do I go to do comedy? Yeah. And then they get that information, they go, okay. And then they usually just never go, but you actually went.
Yeah.
So that's neat, man.
Yeah.
Really neat. Again, this is a hilarious podcast. We're doing great. I wanted to ask you this question. Actually, this is the main reason I wanted to have you on. You have a piece of material in your show.
Yeah.
We talk about this girl you meet. And is that true?
The pet play one?
The one where you end up marrying that girl.
That one.
Yeah.
That is 100%
That is 100% true. That is, so this is I want you to, would you be open to telling me the story of how you actually met your wife? Because it's a
I
nice
will
story.
leave out.
You don't have to go into
a couple
gory
of those
details. Because you're gonna tell the if you see Donnie at a show, he's gonna tell the story. But
I'll tell this joke.
to tell the story. You don't have to go into the gory details, but then tell me about the pet play one after that.
Yeah, that's, me and my wife, we'd like for some reason we've had the same friend of groups, but at different times. You know, like she was friends with these group of people in
And how did
Massachusetts.
you guys actually meet?
So I was in the Army.
Okay,
We had been Facebook friends for some reason because that's what you did back in the day. You add people that were mutual
so you were in
friends.
the Army in what 2000?
This was in 2015. I just got back from Afghanistan, December
And how old were you in
2014.
the Army? You were 22, 21,
At that time, I was 20
20. Okay,
in 2015. Yeah.
okay, all right.
So yeah, she was friends with me on Facebook, and then I got back from Afghanistan, started posting up all the thirst traps, like the me in uniform and stuff like that, and home
You're
from
back home,
deployment.
I'm like, yeah, who wants to come and have a drink with this American?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love a man in uniform. Sometimes that shit works, though. I've seen
Yeah.
that. I'm like, motherfucker.
Like I was posting photos from Afghanistan and stuff like that, and then I just saw this girl that I'd never met in person before started liking all my shit, and I'm like, who is this? She started like commenting.
Oh, she stalked you.
She stalked me.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just minding my own business.
You seem like such a nice boy, Donnie. I can't see you.
Yeah. She just kept like for like a week, and it was funny because like she had a boyfriend at the time too, which is hysterical.
Dude, I'll be honest with you. At this point in my life, it's amazing. You have to realize, like, you know, I realized now that I've been to so many weddings and I know how a lot of people have gotten together. Like, I know how, like, when you're like close friends wedding, everybody's like, oh, we met at a party. I'm like, you met at a party because you were doing coke together. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, like you always leave out the details. Like, man, the amount of fucking like the way that people met, how they must have lied about it when I was a kid going to weddings. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like I've been to some of these things and I'm like, I know how you met. You had a fucking boyfriend and you cheated. Like, and now you're
Yeah.
married and you're getting like a Cinderella wedding and you're leaving that part out. Like, our friend Paul isn't allowed to be here because he's depressed because
Oh
you
my
used to
God.
date him. You know what I Like, I just made that part up,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
it's true.
But it's true.
Yeah, it's 100% true. Now she
But-
never cheated on the guy.
When sometimes you go to these weddings and you hear the exchanging of the vows and you're like, this is
That's not how I remember
this
it.
is what is a fraction of the truth of
Yeah.
how I would, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's a half truth.
It's a half truth. It's
Yeah.
not true.
Yeah.
But like he was married and you stole him from you.
Yeah. Now this guy left a bag of coke in her mom's couch, and she was like mad at him during that. And like she was with this guy for like 9 months. He was a scumbag.
God damn.
And then
Long
here
Island.
comes Donnie, home from Afghanistan, having a good time,
Mr. Soldier
looking
Boy.
pretty cool on Facebook.
Did you have the fucking buzz cut too?
Oh god, the high and tight.
Were you one of those dudes that immediately just started growing a beard?
No, you can't grow a beard in the military.
No, like afterwards. You
Oh,
were out, though.
afterward.
Yeah, you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, I got like skin like a black dude. Like it turns into hamburger meat if I shave it.
Edit that out.
Listen, in basic training, you used to see people like with like blood in the sink because they can't shave.
Actually, right over this, right next to him, I want you to put a disclaimer: Joe Winchell and Millennial Stoner has no association. Or does not share the views of Mr. Donny Roy, Sergeant First Class, where the fuck you are private.
I was a sergeant.
You were a sergeant?
I was
Close.
a leader of soldiers in the
You're-
army.
When you have to put it like that, it makes
Yeah.
it seem like you were like the last pick to be one of those leaders. And Donnie, because he's like 1 point of like not being able to do it.
Dude, I was
Like if
fucking
you were
good
supposed
at
to
it,
get a
baby.
60, you got like you're supposed to get a 60, and you came right in at 60. Like,
Yeah, that was my PT test.
yeah, that's right.
I was weak as fuck. Did I got a bird test that would meet the minimum?
But I could yell like a motherfucker.
Yeah. But yeah, so yes, she saw me get home from Afghanistan and started just going through all my posts, liking, commenting, and then finally, like I was drunk at Fort Drum one night. I was like, I'm gonna message her. I'm gonna see what she's about, and then I messaged her, and then
Oh, you had that confidence of like,
yeah.
I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Like, what is?
I'm
I'm
like-
like a catch, guys, right? Like,
yeah, I'm like, she's not just doing
she
this on
wants
accident.
this. Like,
She's not liking these posts on accident, right?
no, like,
yeah.
right, dude, right,
Yeah.
Randy, yeah, dude, you need a messenger. I'm a fucking messenger. Like,
Yeah.
get the nuts to do it.
Yeah, I slid in her DMs. 2 weeks later, she broke up with her boyfriend. 2 weeks after that, we met up in Dunkin' Donuts.
For a dirty liaison. That's true, though.
Yeah,
That's
come
crazy.
see me at one of my shows to find out more.
It's great. She showed me pictures, but that was weird. I was like, why did she know
Yeah.
you have these? Like, yeah, that's crazy because, like I said, like I asked that because like you always hear these because you're married. Obviously, you love your wife very much.
She's the best.
She seems really cool. But like I guarantee you, there's like I'm like that story is That's a real story. That's not like we met in a
No.
pumpkin patch.
It wasn't romantic.
You know,
that we
it's
met,
like-
none of it.
No, it's not. It's like I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna get some, and then I kind of did, and then like I liked her. Like,
Yeah.
which was exactly the mentality she had. I thought I was gonna get some. I kind of did, and I was like, I kind of like him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and so we did the long distance thing for like.
That's like when you catch a frisbee,
Yeah,
except it's a Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. That's what that is.
it's a slippery frisbee.
Yeah, that's,
Anyway,
it's a floppy frisbee. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what.
well, yeah. So yeah, we did long distance up at Fort Drum for a year after that.
How long
and
did you
then,
date before you got married?
7 years. 6 years,
Wow.
7 years. Yeah,
Look at you.
we took time.
Were you like? Wait, yeah, this is gonna sound dumb. Were you like? Were you like one of those guys? I want to take time to see if I like her, or did you just were like? Was she one? What was it eventually?
We weren't
like,
in a rush.
Well, were you eventually like sitting on the couch, being like, "Hey, you want to like get married?"
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, it was never off the table. Like we were talking
Okay.
about it within like in the first 3 years, and we were together for 7 before we got married.
Well, I didn't want to give up that swinger life. I understand. I understand, man.
Yeah, money.
Pineapples forever.
Yeah, money. The process of planning a wedding is a nightmare. But
I mean, that is. I mean, that's why I think that's why a lot of people aren't getting married.
Yeah.
Nowadays, because it's just like not worth it.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Most people I know have kids. It's easier to have kids than it is to be married.
Yeah.
It's crazy. At least that's what I'm seeing for most people.
and everyone cheats now. It's never
Everyone
been, It's
cheats.
never been easier to cheat. You got
Oh my
Tinder,
God,
fucking Hinge,
people
Bumble.
cheat. I
It's
realize
crazy.
now more people cheat.
Yeah.
Than like, and I'm just like, it's just like that 1950s kind of like, you remember how like in the 50s, like every marriage, like out of like 9 out of 10 husbands were gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just something you accepted. They were like, yeah. It's gay, but
They had this private life.
society is terrible.
Yeah.
So this is what we have to do. Like, you know, and obviously things became better, but that's what it is now. It's like accepted. It's like, yeah, you want this marriage to stay together?
Yeah.
I'm going to go get railed out by somebody else, or I'm going to go fuck somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the norm for a lot of people. I know people that I'm like, they've cheated on each other and they're still together, and it's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, they somehow
I don't
make
know
it
if
work.
they know about it, so don't listen to this podcast.
Whoever you are.
No, you know, if your name's, we'll just call him Smarry. No, just kidding. I don't know a Barry. I don't know a Barry. No,
Yeah.
no, but like it's true. Like it's just from stuff, from like stories people tell you that you meet over time and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, like this is just an accepted thing. Like, are you like, I don't know. Like, I can't sit here and tell you in past relationships I've been 100% faithful. I've not. I can tell you the relationships I was faithful in.
Yeah.
I usually liked the person. Like,
Yeah.
that was usually the common denominator with it. But like, have you ever been in a relationship where you have cheated?
No.
No. Are you
No.
like a God-fearing Christian man?
No, I'm just a good guy.
You're just a good guy? That's good.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's good.
Probably my early history of life of, fucking crazy parents.
Yeah, you're like,
Steered me away, like, don't fuck it up.
It's true.
Don't fuck it up. That's
It's
pretty
true.
much where I approach like
Because
most
what
of my
other the
relationships.
people that stay together and cheat is, but eventually, like that's why their kids will eventually cheat. So it's like, well, eventually, I'll just find someone that'll put up with my whorish ways.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I was a good boy growing up. I mean, I got cheated on like when I was in basic training with like a girl. I was like in
poor
a year.
stereotypical army sap.
Yep. Yeah, I got
That's
Jody.
every movie. That's the start of every movie. Like modern day army movies, just starting with a tape of some dude's chick getting railed out.
Deer
him,
Hunter.
him crying in front of
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, Jarhead when it's like, oh, my wife sent me Deer Hunter. She's like, fuck you, Andy.
You know what's the problem with that? I watched that movie.
That's a great movie.
And I'm just like, I watch those movies and I'm just like, Jake Gyllenhaal looks unbearable to be around during any of this shit. Like,
Yeah. He looks like a dick.
he looks like unbearable. Like, outside making movies, he seems like a great dude.
Yeah.
Inside making movies, he seems like the kind of person that made people question doing cocaine. And you should never question doing it. You should just do it. You should just do it. You know what I
Nike.
mean? Like if you got it from him, you'd be like, I don't know about this cocaine. Like,
Yeah. Like, have you seen that guy's eyes?
have you seen that? He won't shut up about like, I don't know, everything.
Yeah.
How about a restaurant? Hey, every time at the restaurant. So I got off. Yeah, I remember. It's always so
That's a
fucking.
great movie.
I haven't seen that in a while. I remember when I would get high, I would always quote Jamie Foxx from that movie.
Oh my God. I love his role in that movie.
Yeah, he's only in it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They made him put him all over that trailer to sell that fucking movie because Jake Gyllenhaal wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal yet.
Which line was it? I got better things to do, like play with my balls.
Yeah. I remember we would be when we were in college, and my friends would be like, "What are we doing?" And I'm like, "I'm getting you," because I bartended. I was like, "I'm getting you fucking drunk," and I'm like, "They're like, why?" And I'm like, "Because I love my job." Hoorah!
Hoorah!
So, but yeah, I used to quote Jarhead all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's funny watching other guys' wives get fucked in front of their friends. Anyway,
Yeah.
cuckolding's good. Chad, do we have enough Chad questions, or did we want to do? We can do. Let's do one article.
I know you got articles you want to talk about.
I mean, we can't do all of them because that was actually. Yeah, we'll do one article. Chris, did you hear that? Well, it's decriminalized. The dick one, maybe if we do, depending. Yeah, all right. So in Canada, I don't know exactly where in Canada, but there's a store in Canada selling coke, meth, and heroin. It's not illegal. Here's the crazy thing: the store is operating illegally, but like, did they have a picture of this dude? Dude, go to the other picture. I think they have him in front of his like menu and shit. Yeah, there he is. Doesn't that look like a dude exactly like the guy you would buy that shit from?
Yeah,
first of all,
at least it says adults only, 18 plus.
yeah, but look at the thing right there. There's a menu. It's just cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, and oh man, he's got MDMA. I might have to go check this dude out.
Dude, this looks like the menu at All American.
Work on that. No, just kidding. 1 point. I don't know what points are. Oh wait, no, that's from money. $20, $200 for 1 gram. I guess he only sells. So he only basically sells up to 2.5 grams. So the drugstore, which opened on Wednesday in Vancouver's downtown east side, is operating illegally while British Columbia has progressive drug laws. I know they decriminalized a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a weird thought, actually. I was thinking about this article on the way up because I was like, Donnie might have an interesting perspective on this, but like, I'm fairly confident in my lifetime, I'll probably see, at the very least, the decriminalization of cocaine.
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong at this point?
Yeah.
That's another thing you find out. That's another thing you find out when you get married. Everybody cheats. Everybody does coke.
Everyone does coke.
Everyone does coke. Everyone does
I
coke.
know.
Married couples do coke all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so if married couples in Canada, if you haven't done cocaine, you should do it now. Just get a babysitter. Be responsible. But that's what I mean, dude.
Yeah.
I heard a drug PSA recently. Remember when drug PSAs used to tell you to like not do drugs?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. They're like, if you're gonna do drugs, that's how they start with. Hey, you know what?
We know what's gonna happen.
Drugs are fun. Like
Yeah.
they basically start like that. They're like, hey man, we understand cocaine is really cool.
Yeah.
And some of you may want to try it at least once. Just remember to test it for fentanyl. And you're like,
good thing for that drug war we had for like 30,
do you remember when they used to have commercials? Yeah, remember the war on drugs?
Yeah.
Remember the commercials? Just dudes in trench coats standing by basketball courts. I was talking with somebody about that. Imagine a kid who's only like never does drugs, but is like never like straight and narrow his whole life, marries, conservative and everything like that.
Yeah.
2 kids, white picket fence, nuclear family setup, never does drugs, never exposed to that, just a really vanilla life and everything. And he comes home one day and his fucking wife's cheating on him. Right? And he's like, oh my God, he's broken. You know what I mean? Finds out that she's also stolen a bunch of his money. So he has to move out of his own house, has to move into a shit apartment. You know what I mean? Takes his kids away from him and everything like that. And he decides like, I'm going to do fucking drugs, right? But his only knowledge of drugs is like the DARE PSAs, where like apparently drug dealers would just hang out at basketball courts. So this disgruntled man just shows up to the basketball courts like, where's all the people in trench coats?
Yeah.
I would like to buy 1 crack, please. I always think about that guy. Yeah.
When Dennis tries to buy it.
I'd like 1 crack rock, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 drug, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm fairly confident we'll see the decriminalization of cocaine.
Yeah.
Everybody I know does cocaine.
I mean, it is just a plant. And people in South America, they chew on the coca leaf.
Yeah,
they get the same buzz.
I watch Collateral Damage. I know they do that in that.
I've never seen that one.
But it's because it's technically natural. The plant itself is like natural caffeine.
Yeah.
But if you farm it, it's like a super drug.
Yeah. It's a narcotic.
Whatever it is, it makes me want to jerk off till 5 a.m. But I can't, and I get mad, and then I.
Yeah. The thing about coke is it definitely makes your penis soft.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I hate when people would come up to me and be like, "Oh man, my dick doesn't get soft on coke," and I'm like, "You're not doing coke then." Like, like I'm tired of my drug use being the wrong kind of drug use. Okay,
that's the fentanyl talk.
I'm like, that's That's why I stopped doing it actually for like a long time. Was
Yeah.
just like was like the fentanyl stuff happened, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to die like that.
Yeah.
Like it was bartending,
Yeah.
and I was getting it for free.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you go to Canada, I can get it for $20 for 2 points. What the fuck is? Yo, Chris, what's 2 points? I don't understand this measurement system.
He's got an official sign, but it's like lingo.
Well, it's $20. $220 for two. That is it. What is that? It's so wait. It's 1 gram is $90. 2 points. What is that? Just like a quick snuff? What's the measurement system in Canada?
Canada.
Is it the metric?
Yeah.
What's a point? All right. Well, he's looking that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So drugs. Yeah. I think that's. Have you ever done hard drugs in your life, Donnie?
No, but just
You think about trying them?
well, in this shirt I am, but
Hunter Thompson reference. I understand.
yeah, I feel like Fear and Loathing.
Never. Like you saw combat, so you were like, "That's enough for me."
Yeah, I never really saw combat.
Oh, you
a
should try
bomb went
drugs.
off
You should
near
try
me,
drugs.
That's it. Yeah. No, I never tried a drug until I got out of the army, which is the
Most
funniest
people
part.
tell me the same.
Yeah. I smoked weed at 23 years old. I was like, oh, the government
Did you
really
smoke
does
weed?
lie
Never
about
done anything
everything.
else.
And mushrooms.
Mushrooms are
Yeah,
great.
mushrooms great.
Mushrooms are
Mushrooms
fantastic.
are great. They make you feel so
They make you
good.
feel good. I changed. I was just talking to somebody about shrooms that I did recently.
Yeah.
Not recently, but like last time I did like a lot of shrooms.
Yeah.
And it like changed my perspective on shit.
Yeah.
Like I had like I saw
You
like
have an
God's,
epiphany.
I saw God's vagina. Like I
Yeah.
saw something like it was. I laid on the. This is exactly how I remember laying on the ground at one point. But I was sitting on the ground, and I remember telling my buddy, I was with my buddy, and I told him, I said, hey, put on movie scores, because we realized we ate. I had these 2 giant things of chocolate, and we just ate like half
Yeah,
of
like
each
the
of them.
polka dot bars.
Yeah, but we like ate, like we had a lot of it, and I
Yeah.
was like, how much could there possibly be in this? A lot.
There's
'Cause
a
we
lot.
tripped for like 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah, it says the walls will melt if you eat the whole
Oh, we
bar.
didn't have this. This was something that it was one was half of what used to be a skull. That should have been a clue.
Mm, that's how you know it's really good.
Yeah, but I remember just like sitting on the ground, and like it was movie scores, like the orchestra shit,
Yeah.
and like
I'll put on Jaws.
no, I had to tell him to change the Dark Knight theme because it was the Joker one, and I'm like, no, change this. You're
That's
gonna have
dark.
a bad trip.
Yeah.
But it was the Indiana Jones theme came on, and I was staring at the rug, and the rug turned into an Aztec civilization. It's
Yeah.
the only way I can describe it, and it was like
The
but
patterns.
do you remember when you would look at a Where's Waldo book?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. That's the perspective that I
No
had
shit.
with it. So I was like, oh my God. I
Yeah.
didn't even tell James what was going on.
Yeah.
And he goes, how you doing? I'm like, dude, this couldn't be better right now. Like this couldn't
Yeah.
be better like right now. And like it was because I like let stuff go that I held on to during that like 3.5 hour trip. I came down like a weirdo though.
Everyone
I was
does.
laying like this, like on the ground.
like a Renaissance painting.
Yeah. And then did you ever watch Gamers for Thrones?
No.
Okay, did you ever? I didn't really either, but I know that Ed Sheeran had a song that he did in it.
Okay.
Okay, and that song was playing
In your head?
on the screen, like
Yeah.
and like they'll come down, and it was like when you come down from shrooms, when you trip hard, it's like a movie, like it fades out. At least for me, it was like
Yeah.
you trip, and then it slowly it like cradles you back into reality. Not like acid, where you just kind of wake up and you're like, whoa, I was
Yeah.
a werewolf 5 minutes ago. What happened? Like, it's just- like you come out of it hard. Like you just actually not plummeting to earth. Do
Yeah.
acid. It's great.
Yes, sir.
Do it. Don't do it with your wife.
Yeah.
Do it. Make it a couples thing. Okay.
She would like that.
Do it. Like
Yeah.
go find acid. Do it together. Okay. Listen to music. Dance around naked. All right. But don't do it on the second floor because you might try to jump out a window because you might fly.
Just like the
Or a
the drug
spider might
PSAs.
chase you that you can only see. Who knows?
Just you.
That happened to a buddy of mine. He almost jumped out the window because he said a spider was
Oh,
trying to get
Jesus
him. He
Christ.
did too much acid.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do that much.
Yeah, don't do it. I'm going to give you a tab. You take this with your wife and you said, okay, put on fucking, I don't know. What do you listen to?
Dude, so I
Led
got
Zeppelin?
The Doors.
The Doors? Oh, you
On mushrooms?
fucking weirdo.
I didn't like
You
the Doors.
stereotypical weird. Oh, man, the Doors on mushrooms.
I understood the Doors
And
when
a
I took
podcast
mushrooms.
because it was corny.
Cut it.
Because Donny Roy is a corny ass motherfucker. No,
Dude, you listen to People Are Strange on mushrooms?
Woo. So you should definitely do it. Do acid.
Yeah.
You should do it. I'm advocating drug use in the show. Go fuck yourselves. But I remember was looking at this thing, and the song came on, and I was like, it looked like a cave. Like I was looking at like a little cave, but there was like snow falling, and there was like a little fire, and there wasn't people around it.
Yeah.
But there was like a sword and like a helmet, like medieval, and it was like really cool.
Oh my god.
I was like staring as this like pleasant little folk song played of Ed Sheeran being like, hello, and I'm like, oh my god, don't play it. Like, don't play it. It's gonna make me. Oh, we figured it out.
Yeah.
What's
1 point to. I don't know what any of this is. Okay. To a gram. So 1 point to grams is 0.002 grams.
Oh, that's nothing.
So that's like a bump. You can buy a bump from this guy.
That's pretty convenient.
Dude, this dude must. I mean, look at his jeans. He definitely does well.
He sets it up for you. It's just the back of a toilet.
I just love that he's like operating illegally.
Yeah.
And he's like, but it's like decriminalized. So they come in, it's like, you can't do this anymore. It's like, all right, I'll stop.
What am I, a criminal?
Then he leaves. And then he goes, they gone. You want more heroin? And he's like, hey, is it decriminalized? So they just have to be like, you can't do that. People are gonna complain.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that. Like,
yeah. And Vancouver is like the Washington of
it'll take me
Canada,
forever to
right?
tell you this come down story. So anyway, I'm looking at this thing and it looked like a real cave.
Yeah.
And the come down, like I told you, like the come down from shrooms is like, it's like a cinema. It's like you fade out from it.
Yeah.
And I faded out from this. As the song ended, I faded out to it. It was beautiful. Except I realized when I faded out from this castle in the snow and this little fire pit, it was just like two books stacked and like the crevice between the couch and like the fucking shelf I was like staring at looked nothing like it.
Yeah.
But that's how good those shrooms were.
Yeah.
That I could
It opened up
actually
your
see.
third eye, baby.
It really did.
Yeah.
But yeah, do it. Yeah, do all that shit. It makes you think about stuff differently.
Gives you a different perspective. It really does.
It does, man. Like it like don't do heroin.
No.
Don't do that. And like don't do coke. Unless you really want to, then you should totally do coke. But like,
Yeah. I had a family member that had a bad run-in with coke.
yeah, exactly. I think
They're 4
like,
years sober now.
That's what it is. It's like slippery slope shit. But
Yeah.
like, the hallucinogenic shit, like, it's just gonna make you see awesome stuff. Just remember that you're safe.
Yeah.
And that like everything around you is awesome, and you'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Set
Like,
and setting.
yeah,
is
it
important.
is really is. You want to do it outside or like when it's
Yeah.
bright, like how it's bright out today.
Yeah.
This is
In the
perfect.
sun.
This is perfect fucking tripping
Yeah.
weather.
I've done it camping. It's the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You stare at the fire.
Yeah.
Except you don't want to go in the woods alone.
No.
None of that.
No.
Unless you're like my friend. I have a friend named Kenny who is probably like, he's like shorter but stocky, but like the toughest son of a bitch that I ever personally knew.
Yeah.
And he went into the Navy actually.
It's not that tough.
I'm not saying anything.
Kenny sounds gay. Go on.
Kenny. But he but like he would do this thing where he would take shrooms and like I'd like he would just like wander off in the woods and I'd be like, what happened? He'd come back, he's like, I took her off my clothes and I ran around naked, and I'm like, that's insane. Like
That's
like,
freedom, baby.
please don't run this way. Like,
That's freedom.
that's what you're gonna do next time? You're gonna run
yeah.
around naked in the woods?
Hey, I do that now.
You do it now?
I do it now when I drink Four Loko.
Go
I'm the
see
Four
Donnie.
Loko
Do you have
generation,
shows you need to
baby.
plug? We have to wrap up.
Yeah, come see me drink Four Loko, get naked at doing the Roost on Thursday in Alphabet
Is
City.
upcoming?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be at that.
Oh yeah, I think so. Is
with Rob.
Rob?
Yeah,
White's doing
Rob
it.
invited me to come.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
it's a cool spot. I've done it once before.
Renee runs it, right?
Yeah,
Renee's been
Renee
on the show
rocks.
before. Renee fucking rules.
Go Renee.
Renee Fuentes. I'm going to say right now, actually, if you don't know who that is, go like his shit. He's a
Yeah.
great dude, and he's fucking hilarious.
Big Chuckles Productions.
Yeah, Big Chuckles rules.
And then Friday I'll be at Stand Up New York.
And for those of you, this is your first city gig? Like in the city, in Manhattan?
The Roost I've done
But
once
that's the
before.
boroughs.
No, that's Manhattan.
That's Manhattan?
It's
I thought that
Alphabet
was
City.
in Brooklyn.
No, it's Manhattan.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so that's cool. All right, so you're doing it's the first time at Stand Up New York, though.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's my
cool.
first one.
I was just at Stand Up New York. Billy Guy was performing there. It's great. It's a great little, it's very intimate.
Yeah.
It's very, very intimate. You literally just walk on. It's one of those things where you like walk right onto the stage.
Very cool. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see it.
And then anything else you have to plug?
Follow me on Instagram. Donnie's got jokes. My name is Donny Roy.
What do I have coming up? I've got May 13th. I got a Terry McNeely show coming up. That is 9:30 at McGuire's. We need people to come to that show to fill it up and make it great. I mean, it might be sold out already. I don't know. Last time I did this, I said we need people to come. Like they were like, "What are you talking about? We have
can't
people."
come.
But listen, go check it out. I'm gonna say that like come down if you want. I'll say that. I don't want to jinx it now.
Yeah.
But like it's that'll be on May 13th. Go to govs.com. May 13th. Terry McNeely and Friends show. I think we're the 9:30 show.
Mhm.
But if you go on the website, you'll see his big stupid face on there. Click on that. Get tickets. It's great. Great time. We've been doing great with these late night McGuire shows. Come check it out. The lineup's great. I know. I think Tony Landolfi's on it. Billy Guyer's on it. If you haven't seen Billy Guyer, you're missing out. He's been on this podcast so many times. And then after that, May 14th, I have a show at the Alibi Laugh Lounge, I believe it's called.
Mhm.
Hold on. We got the poster right here. It's Wasted Talent Comedy production. It's called Unmedicated, a discourse on mental health awareness. Rob White's going to be on it. The very funny Russ Silverman's going to be on it. Tim Saliani, who's fucking hilarious, is going to be on it. I'm going to be on it. Jack Simmons, and it's hosted by James Raniolo. Oh, Dan McAllister's also going to be on it too. So come on down. That's Sunday, May 14th at the Laugh Lounge at Alibi, which is 230 Main Street in Farmingdale. This is like a mental health awareness thing, so a portion of the proceeds are going to be donated to NAMI.org, which is a mental health foundation and everything. This is also an event at an Eventbrite thing, so I will send it to Chris, and we'll put the Eventbrite link down here. So yeah, it's on Medicaid. That's going to be great. Come down. There's a lot of funny people on that show. And if you haven't been to the Laughs Lounge at Alibi, it's a lot of really fun, cool place.
There's good people there.
Good people there, okay? I'm going to be at Mohegan Sun, the 10:30 show with John Butera and friends. Oh no, that's I'm going to be on Thursday 10:30 show at Comics Roadhouse Mohegan Sun on May 25th. Kick off your fucking Memorial Day weekend with that's Memorial Day weekend, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. Kick it off with some laughs. Come down, dude. It's great. Come down. I just tell people this is a really fucking great spot. The casino's fun. If you don't want to stay in the casino, you can drive in for the day. You can get there's always like there's a Hyatt around the corner from it, so there's a lot of shit to do for everybody. So, but come down, man. It's a great venue, and there's a lot of funny people on that. I know Tim Saliani's on that. I know I'm on that because obviously I'm promoting it. So it's a really good. It's a really good. And there's a host. I think we have a special guest host. But as we'll figure that out. But yeah, 25th, and then I'll be with Terry McNeely in Connecticut on the 2nd of June, and I'll get that venue name. I'm bad at this. And then, but then after that, we're going to be at the Keystone Stage in Oliphant, Pennsylvania. That's going to be me, Fat Jay, Billy Guyer, Terry McNeely, Uncle Terry and the Funky Bunch in the house. Okay. So, Donnie, thanks for coming in, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. This went, better than I expected it to go.
Yeah, dude. Who needs a therapist?
No, Chad. The AI works to an extent, man. I understand the qualms with it, but these are some decent questions. I'm going to challenge it further and see if I'm completely sold on it. But this was our first AI interview.
This is why the writers are on strike, Joe.
This is exactly. Man, I'm supporting. I'm a piece of shit. We can't air this episode. I gotta go to the picket line.
Yeah, right.
God damn. All right. Anyway, sorry, writers.
Yeah.
I couldn't write
That's a good
simple
way to end.
interview questions. I was like, hey, Chris, here's a funny idea. Make the machine do it.
Yeah.
Can you write my set for Saturday Night Chat GPT?
Yeah.
Write me 5 new jokes. I'm a piece of shit. Anyway, I'm Joe Winchell. This has been Millennial Stoner. My guest has been Donny Roy, but we're going to start calling him Donny Brooks. I don't fucking know. My name's Joe. Tune in, like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like the reels and all that stuff. And
Yeah,
I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
The Millennial Stoner outro song. You pack a bowl and sing along. Blah, la, blah, la, blah, la, 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 la. Ba, ba, blue sheep, ba, 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 ba. This is the favorite podcast of the Dalai Lama.